Welcome to the Law Dad Podcast, brought to you by Pritchard Injury Firm. I'm Zach Pritchard, lawyer, business owner, husband, and one very tired father.
Dive into the heart of law and life with The Law Dad, Zach Pritchard, your guide through the world of injury law in North Georgia and Tennessee, where law, life, and leadership meet.
One of our core values here at Pritchard Injury Firm is teamwork. It's actually our first one. So the reason that's important, and I draw a lot of inferences from childhood sports, and I'm a big believer in getting your kids involved with team sports. It teaches you so many things. It teaches you how to work together to overcome adversity and to achieve a goal, right? And to see success. And I think that's so important because when you're in a company, when you're in life and just in general, inevitably you are going to need someone. I mean, I think about the analogy of professional golfers because that's always thrown, right? Oh, well, professional golfers don't need anybody. They play a sport by themselves. Is that right? Well, who carries their clubs and tells them what the yardage is? Who tells them what the slope of the green is? Who tells them where to putt the ball? That's their caddy. That's still a team. You've got to rely on those people in life to help you achieve a goal. And one of my favorite quotes is, "A rising tide lifts all ships." And so when you set the tone that teamwork is going to elevate your team, and that cohesiveness, it truly translates into success. I'm just a huge believer in getting everybody. I always envision those rowing teams, in the Ivy Leagues or whatever. They have somebody at the helm of the ship giving them the cadence, right? There's a movie that just came out called Boys in the Boat, and what it's about is this rowing team, right? And they talk about the cohesiveness. As a matter of fact, there's another good movie, and there's 1,000 of them, but this one's really important, is that Miracle on Ice, right? Where they talk about these guys that should not have beaten the Soviet Union. They were college kids, but because this coach brought them together and made them play as a team, the Soviet team lost, despite the fact that they had all these superstars. They didn't achieve all that they were supposed to. Why? Because they didn't have a cohesiveness about them. I love sports. I love the little implied adversities, little implied successes, the brain power it takes to put the trust, faith into somebody else, and to also to tell that person to expect better of themselves. So here at Pritchard Injury Firm, teamwork does make the dream work. It absolutely is so important. We are a cohesive team. We pick each other up. I don't play with people who are I, me versus us, we. I say that all the time, guys. It's no I, me, it's us, we, right? Because we succeed or we fail together. And when we fail, we learn, we support each other, and we grow. Teamwork for my girls, especially, they're both in soccer, and they're going to play other sports, but it's so very important because things that we're learning. One of the things I'm truly most proud of, I'll say this, Avery, I'm definitely partial, right? I think she's the best soccer player in the world. She's my pride and joy. I love her. And Paige is the same way. But one of the biggest steps that we taught her over this competitive last year is to acknowledge and to say, "Yes, coach." And I love that. When I hear her, even more than the goals she scores, even more than the beautiful passes she makes, even the contesting and what we call winning the ball, right, from another player, when I hear her out there say "Yes, coach" to something that Coach Francis says, it makes me so happy, because what it does is it tells me that she is going to be able to take knowledge from somebody, to recognize their authority, to appreciate them, to give them the respect they deserve, and then also to apply that in her life. And that's life. There's so much information. There's so many other people out there that are going to tell you this, that, and the other. But the fact that she has the ability to say, "I'm going to process, yes, coach, and I'm going to execute," and then you can see her execute what he's saying, that's cool. As a dad, that's just like the best feeling. Because of the culture we have here, it's so easy. It's easy to really start spotting those people that are not rowing in the right direction. And I can tell you that, as my evolution as a business owner and as a leader here, I've learned to really, my radar for that has become a lot stronger. At first, I think They also talk about, interestingly enough, in some theory, they talk about people that are terrorists in your firm, people that you think you have to have, and the culture doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what their core values are because their work product is so good. I'm going to tell you something. You can take a good player. This happens all the time in college, all the time in pro. You can take a good player and make them a superstar if they have the right attitude, if their heart's in the right place. And I am on the hunt constantly for negative qualities about that. Yes, when you're as close as we are, kind of like a family, you're going to have some conflict from time to time. That's not what I'm talking about. But when your teammate needs help, you ought to be looking for that opportunity. And that's what I teach, here is look for the opportunity to pick your teammate up. What's really cool, and if I'm being kind of spilling some of my secrets, I notate that stuff. I'm looking, I'm watching, I'm hearing. I know who's doing the little things when nobody's watching. I know. And I notate that, when review time comes around. I notate that when I'm thinking about opportunities for advancement, because those are the kind of people I want. Those are the people, when nobody's looking, that they're living what we're talking about. They're really, truly embodying the core values. So in the beginning, certainly, maybe it wasn't as easy to see the kind of forest through the trees, that teamwork was so important and how it impacts us. But now that I know, and now that when you go, oh my gosh, seeing, getting rid of and getting to a point of where that negativity or those things are now no longer your culture, when you focus moving forward on just the team, it's so weird, just the team. It's amazing how that success and how all of the things that you never thought were possible are possible. I've got to first start by saying, when you're a law firm owner and you grow up kind of old school, right? That's the way all the mediators will joke with me and say, you're an old soul, even though you're young, by the way you practice, right? With professionalism and kindness and all those kinds of things and work ethic. To have somebody, and more importantly, to have a team support me in ways that I used to support people is probably the best compliment they could ever, give me. We had a trial, and an attorney here who she just kind of put it on her back. Her name is Amber. She is a rock star. She's got a lot of talent and has got just a knack for being not only a good litigator, but she's going to be a phenomenal trial attorney. And she dropped everything. She stayed with me late. Like, I've never had anybody do that. And that means a lot to me as a person, not just a law firm owner. I don't think she realized the impact, because, a lot of times we attorneys just put it on our back and we just do what we got to do. But the fact that she dropped her whole case list to say, I'm going to focus in on this trial because that's what's best for this firm and that's what's best for you and you need me, it made the trial that much better. I mean, I now have a trial partner, and I've never had a trial partner before, and that's so cool. And interestingly enough, when I asked her to handle a witness or whatever, she was flawless, and I was able to kind of pour in some knowledge. So not only did the teamwork go uphill and make that trial and the execution of that trial go way better than I could by myself, it also got to go a little bit, from me to her. I got to tell you, that was the best experience, one of the best experiences. Even though we may not have had the exact outcome we wanted, it was our execution that at the end of the day I was impressed with. I would say impressed. We did a phenomenal job.
Stay connected with the Law Dad, Zach Pritchard, across all your favorite platforms. Dive deeper into the stories, insights, and behind-the-scenes moments that make the Law Dad your go-to podcast. Follow us on Facebook for updates and community shoutouts. Catch inspiring snippets on Instagram. Connect with Zach on LinkedIn for professional insights. And don't miss our exclusive content on YouTube. Find our social media links in the description of today's show. Follow us now on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
This show is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute tax, investment, or legal advice. Please consult with a qualified professional before taking any action.